What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. But in this one, we got some big recruiting updates on the 4-star edge Zahir Mathis. Also the 5-star offensive tackle Ty Haywood, where Michigan stands right now in both of those recruitments. Also give an update on Notre Dame offensive line transfer Rocco Spindler, whether or not Michigan can get him on campus for a visit. And we talk about the 2026 recruiting class and why Michigan is hitting the state of Virginia hard this cycle. Also got a couple of Michigan football players listed with Heisman Trophy odds, and Michigan's 2022 recruiting class re-ranking to number 1 according to ESPN, as that class had a 36-6 record with Michigan. We go over all that and more in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so I wanted to give an update on Michigan's remaining 2 targets in the 2025 class, Zahir Mathis and Ty Haywood, and we'll first start with the 4-star edge, top 100 edge Zahir Mathis, as Wolverines were a top school going after him, and he was set to take an official visit this past weekend to Michigan, but he did not end up taking that visit. Now, he is set to visit Maryland this weekend. Virginia Tech also trying to get him on campus for a visit. He also couldn't make it out to UCLA due to the fires. So right now, Florida State is the only program to host him for an official visit. So, the visit may be rescheduled, but it doesn't appear that way. And it appears Michigan will not be getting a commitment from Zahir Mathis. And it appears that the interest has kind of faded away between the two, as again, Michigan was, probably considered the top school after he decommitted from Ohio State. Also, him not, signing anywhere on the early signing period opened the door for Michigan to get him on campus for a visit. So that's an update on Zahir Mathis, but Michigan is still going after the big one, Ty Haywood. According to Steve Wiltfong of On3, he still likes Michigan right now, as he is coming off an official visit to Michigan on the weekend of January 17th. And he is all done with visits and working on his final decision now, as he will mainly be choosing between Florida State, Michigan, and Texas Tech, it appears. So while, Ty Haywood hasn't committed yet to Michigan, it still is looking good for the Wolverines, as Sherrod Moore and company are just trying to get to the finish line and close the deal here on this one. And then also we talked about, a couple of Notre Dame offensive linemen entering the portal, Michigan expressing interest in them. One of them was the Michigan native, former Notre Dame offensive lineman Rocco Spindler, who recently just entered the portal after the national championship game, and he is coming off a visit to Indiana, which wrapped up on Saturday. But along with Indiana, Michigan, Pittsburgh, Virginia, Nebraska also in the mix here. And again, he is a Clarkston, Michigan native. Michigan made the final cut in his recruitment, but he ultimately chose Notre Dame, and he's a 6'5", 331-pound offensive lineman with 1 season of eligibility remaining, and he does have a lot of experience at guard. Started 23 games over the last 2 seasons at right guard for Notre Dame. According to On3's Pete Nakos, Nebraska did get a Zoom call with him, and he's also expected to arrive at Nebraska for a visit on Tuesday. However, Spindler is running up against the Cornhuskers enrollment deadline, which is Tuesday. So if he doesn't make a decision on his Nebraska visit, there could be an opportunity to visit Michigan next weekend, and this is one that the Wolverines could really use on the offensive line. So hoping Michigan can get him on campus for a visit, that would be huge. Now going back to recruiting to the 2026 class, like we've talked about on this channel, Michigan coaching staff has been out on the road visiting multiple top targets. But before we get into that, I do want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, BetUS. They have all the odds you need this football and basketball season, as basketball is starting to get into full swing here, as the football season very close to being over. You got the NBA, college basketball, and we got Michigan, Penn State tonight, 6:30 p.m. Michigan looking to bounce back after their loss to Purdue. They're currently 9-point favorites right now. Over under is set at 160. And since the Wolverines haven't been putting up that many points, I'm going to take the under here. But I'm also going to do a parlay and have Michigan winning this one outright. You can bet $50, win $66. That's just one example of many bets you can make with BetUS. And currently it's a great time to get started because BetUS is offering a 150% sign up bonus up to $2,000. And you also get a 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000, all with promo code YouTube150. So go ahead, check them out at betus.com. And obviously, please gamble responsibly. But let's go ahead and continue here. And wanted to continue here, talk about the 2026 class and more in particular Michigan's recruiting efforts recently in the state of Virginia. And one of the biggest ones is Savion Hiter, the 2026 5-star #1 running back in the 2026 class from the state of Virginia. Michigan is all in on him and currently have a lot of momentum in his recruitment. Michigan's willing to play the NIL game in this recruitment. They're still going to have to fight for him, and obviously the whole coaching staff visited him last week, and they've been visiting multiple other top targets as well. But Michigan's still also going after Javion Osborne, who is another 4-star running back, a top 100 running back, and they're also going after Amari Latimer. Now the dream would be to get Hiter and Osborne, but like we've talked about before, Latimer could be deciding soon, so we'll see what happens. But running back recruiting looking great for the Wolverines here in the 2026 class. But going back to the state of Virginia again, Savion Hiter is from there. The offensive lineman Carter Scruggs, 4-star offensive tackle from the state of Virginia. Michigan is a top school in his recruitment. He actually dropped his top 12 consisting of Oregon, Oklahoma, USC, Clemson, Michigan, Alabama, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, Miami, South Carolina, Penn State, and Georgia. Michigan's also going after the 2026 4-star cornerback. On 3 rankings, he's ranked as a 4-star, Zahir Hart. He's also from the state of Virginia. Michigan also going after the wide receiver, Travis Johnson, as well from the state of Virginia, which he is high on Michigan. He's taken notice of Michigan getting Bryce Underwood and new offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey. Michigan's also going after the offensive lineman Darius Gray, who is another top offensive lineman in the class. So Michigan is definitely, attacking the state of Virginia a lot more. They did land Shamari Earls, who was from the state of Virginia last cycle. And obviously Michigan, did have a great 2025 class, still looking to add on to it and could potentially be close to having a top 5 class. Although I don't know if they will crack the top 5, but certainly will be close. But the 2026 class has a chance to be even better than the 2025 class for the Wolverines, as long as they keep this recruiting momentum going. And obviously they are playing with NIL now, which should definitely help them in a lot more recruitments here. But I also wanted to talk about a couple of Michigan football players actually listed with Heisman Trophy odds for the 2025 season. And one guy, which I'm sure a lot of you could probably guess it, that's right, quarterback Bryce Underwood, the freshman quarterback, has plus 6,000 odds, which is the best of any Michigan football player. Now, obviously, Bryce Underwood would have to win the starting job, to win the Heisman Trophy, especially in his freshman year. That would be absolutely crazy, but he's definitely got the talent to do so. Like we've said, I mean, he's a generational talent, but quarterback Mikey Keene is also does have odds with plus 10,000, and also running back Justice Haynes plus 18,000. So Bryce Underwood is actually listed at plus 6,000 on BetUS's odds, but in other sites, Mikey Keene, Justice Haynes also on there. So those are 3 Michigan players with Heisman Trophy odds for the 2025 season. And I also wanted to talk about this interesting topic as well with Michigan's 2022 recruiting class, as Michigan's class in 2022 came in at number 9th nationally. They had players like Will Johnson, Zeke Berry, Derek Moore, Keon Sebb, who is now at Alabama, obviously also Tyler Morris, Mason Graham, Colston Loveland, Kenneth Grant, Marlon Klein, and others. And while Michigan was ranked 9th at the time, according to ESPN.com's re-ranking of the 2022 class, the Wolverines checked in at number 1, as obviously all of Will Johnson, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Colston Loveland predicted to be first-round draft picks. So it is pretty interesting. Obviously, the 2022 class was a big class for the Wolverines. That class had a 36-6 career record at Michigan, 2022 college football playoff appearance, 2023 national champions, 2-time Big Ten champions. It went 3-0 against Ohio State. they developed some absolute stars in that class, and also those players really helped them, obviously win the Big Ten, go back to the college football playoffs, and obviously end it with a national championship in 2023. So if that's not enough evidence to basically tell you Michigan develops stars and is one of the best programs to develop talent, get them to the NFL. I don't know what other evidence you need, but with that, that's gonna wrap up this video. Again, shout out to BetUS. Go ahead, check them out at betus.com and use promo code YouTube150. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it, and we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.